You've probably seen tons of videos from other content creators talking about the Accsoon Seemo and how great it is that it turns your phone into a monitor for your camera. Accsoon actually reached out to me a few months ago seeing if I would cover their new product for their release, and I ended up declining their request to do so, but I told them how much I love their products, and they ended up sending me the Cineeye Quad. Now I'm going to go over why I declined their request to cover the Seemo and why I'm actually very excited about the Cineeye Quad, because this product absolutely covers what I need for wireless video transmission. Now, the cameras that I use on a daily basis that I use for work are probably going to make sense if you know a little bit about them on why I didn't get the Seemo. And my main camera is the Komodo, which I have the Cineeye Quad transmitter on right here. And then we have the Canon R6, which I'm actually using to do this video. And then I also have a Canon R7. Now, the problem with the Canon cameras, especially the lower end Canon cameras, there are some compromises when using these cameras and trying to use the HDMI out. If you use the HDMI out, there are things like if you're trying to record internally, you can't actually use the screen built in on the camera. You can only send the signal out, which then creates an issue because you can't use things like touch autofocus on your camera. Or if you decide to use touch autofocus on your camera and have the screen and monitor both working, you can't record internally. So for me, it didn't really make sense to review the Seemo because I couldn't use my Canon cameras to their full abilities when using that product with them. And then obviously I can't use the Seemo with the RED Komodo. Now it's interesting because there are content creators that showed using the Seemo with some lower end Canon cameras. I'm not going to call them out, but I am going to say that it's disappointing because at no fault to Accsoon, it just does not work to the best of its ability with some of these lower end Canon cameras like the R6 and the R7. However, if you're new to this channel and you don't know my background, my name is Geoff Fagien. I'm a filmmaker, director of photography, and content creator. I do content creation not just here at Reach Films, but for other channels as well and other local businesses. Now, when it comes to the Cineeye Quad, the thing that really stood out to me was the fact that it has SDI and HDMI. As you can see right here, we got an SDI and there is an HDMI right here. So I can not only use this product with my RED Komodo, but I can use it with any HDMI camera I own. The other thing too is that when using this product, it can cross-convert the signals. So if you're using a RED Komodo and you want to send it to a TV that just has HDMI, well, you can do that and not have to have any additional hardware besides the transmitters. So it works really great. Another great thing about this device is how the antennas actually pack away when you're not using it, and it gets nice and compact, and then you just unfold them when you're going to use the device. When using the transmitter, it'll also let you use an app for mobile devices, so you can not only use this whole transmitter receiver combo, but you can also have client monitors on set with maybe some producers or your client using their phone, iPad, whatever to monitor the image. There is going to be some latency. However, it is a really creative way to give multiple monitoring solutions to your client on set. Both the transmitter and receiver use Sony NP-F batteries, so it's pretty standard among most of these devices. The one thing I would say, if I had to say something is missing from this device, you can power them via a normal DC input. However, the one feature that the Vaxis Atom SDI 500 has that the Cineeye Quad does not have is the ability to power them over USB-C. Now, that helps because when I'm putting these on my Komodo rig, I could just grab a USB-C out of my V-mount, hook it into the Atom, and it's just one less thing I have to bring. Now, when I have devices like these that I would need to power, I then can't power them via USB. I actually will have to get a DTAP DC input, which isn't the end of the world. I can still end up powering them from my DTAP solution. However, I have tons of USB-C cords on me, whereas when I get these DTAP solutions, I need to go and end up buying one specifically for each device that needs it. So that's just one minor difference from the Atom SDI 500 compared to the Cineeye Quad. Now, the one question I think a lot of you are going to have is, can this be used for focus pulling? And I think the answer to that is going to be it depends. If you look at the footage right here, I show the latency. I'm recording in the camera in Komodo, and you can see the timer in real time. And then you can also see how it comes out through the wireless transmission. there is a little bit of latency there. So if you're doing very, very basic minor pulls, I think you could still use it for focus pulling. However, if you're doing anything really critical that's going to be fast paced, then I don't know if you necessarily want to use these for focus pulling. Accsoon does have some higher end options if you're looking to stay within Accsoon's ecosystem. Overall, I do think the Cineeye Quad is a really great value for the money, especially if you're a shooter like me that uses cameras that are both SDI and HDMI. That way you don't have to have devices for the specific cameras. You can use this with whatever camera you want to use it with. So I do highly recommend the Cineeye Quad, and I do thank you, Accsoon, for sending this out to me. Especially with the kerfuffle about the Seemo. I do really like that product. It's just for the current cameras that I'm shooting with, didn't quite make sense to do a full review on that for the channel. I am getting an FX30 in this week, so if you're interested in content on that camera, I will be having FX30 content, a lot of FX30 content coming out, and that would have been a great camera to use the Seemo with, but I'm really happy with this device. If you got knowledge and value out of today's video, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep up to date with the latest videos from the channel. And as always, thank you for watching, everybody. My name's Geoff Fagien, and I will see you in the next video.